ILTV Plus, your news from Israel and more 24/7. Start your free trial today. Subscribe at ILTV.tv and watch from any device. All right, incoming missiles and enemy combatants aside, cyber warfare still a top threat. And Israeli government and internet security experts are sounding the alarm bells this week as would-be attackers are abusing a network flaw known as Log4j to take control of anything from businesses and industrial systems to web servers and consumer electronics. Joining to discuss is Levi, founder and CEO of Konfidas Computer Security Services and former secretary to the Prime Minister's National Cyber Initiative. It's great to have you back with us. Thank you so much. Now, where is the Log4j flaw found and how bad is it? What makes it so easy to take advantage of?
Well, it's very common. It's found on many, I would say millions of enterprise and private developments of websites, products, from Tesla cars to Twitter logging pages. And the problem is that this exploit is not only hard to find and hard to mitigate, but it's also very simple to exploit remotely. This is why it received the highest score for a vulnerability, which is 10. That means that it's easily exploited remotely and very hard to mitigate.
So if we know that is a target, though, what can be done to protect against hacking or breaking in through the Log4j channel?
Well, basically, the developers of the platform, the open source platform Apache, have released a remediation for the vulnerability. So if you know that you are vulnerable to it, then what you can do is upgrade your Apache software if it's vulnerable, and then you're okay. The problem is that many organizations don't even know that they have this vulnerability. So the first thing they have to do is they have to search for this technology, see if the version that they're using is exploitable, if it is, in which way. Then they have to upgrade to the version that is not exploitable. And then they have to run checks and see that everything is working properly, which is quite a burden for many organizations worldwide. I can tell you that the Biden administrations have required all the government offices using Apache that are vulnerable to this exploit to upgrade before Christmas, which gives them about a little bit more than a week to do it, which is not a lot of time for an exploit such as this one.
Well, so how many hacks have been reported in just the last few months, or attempted hacks? And where are they coming from? Are they coming from independent or state-affiliated actors? And of course, again, hacking monitors have identified multiple Israeli targets. What can you tell me about them?
Well, it's a recently discovered vulnerability. So by the time they found it and until now, we know about tens of thousands of trials of hacking. We know that there has been at least 7 trials by Iran to attack publicly facing organizations in Israel. We know that ransomware groups have already found way to deploy ransomware using this vulnerability. And we also know that hackers have been using that to deploy crypto miners, meaning using your computers to mine cryptocurrency. So we're talking about potential of tens of thousands of attacks. And if companies will not close the vulnerability, then we will be witnessing a wave of attacks coming in the next couple of weeks and months.
So again, what are Israeli efforts that you know of to combat this threat, and are they enough?
Well, Israel is doing what actually most of the world is doing. The Israeli National Cybersecurity Directorate has issued numerous warnings with remediation guidelines. I think that they are actually checking the entire government networks to see if this vulnerability exists and if then patch it as soon as possible. And in situations where they find that publicly held corporates are vulnerable and they are at risk, they will notify them, like they're doing, by the way, in many other exploits, not only this one. And those organizations are expected to follow the guidelines of the National Cybersecurity Directorate. I must say that the director does not have, they don't have any authoritative power. That means that they cannot force organizations to do that. They can convince them to do it. And I'm hoping that they will actually do it and not wait until something happens.
All right, good advice from Levi from Konfidas. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.